Hi guys. So I meant to do this video before I'd say Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving break and everything, but time just didn't work out for me. So I do want, I'm still doing this video and still want to talk about it because I do think it is um, a thought or a stress that maybe some people have during this time. And essentially, the thought for today is, you know, these stressors and I'd say worries, fears during the holidays. Like the holidays can be stressful. I think when we are younger, they're very much enjoyable. But as you get older, you start to realize, oh, this isn't, it's still fun, but it's like this isn't just like carefree, Because if you, like for myself, um, you know, I you watch your parents like cook Thanksgiving, um, cook the Thanksgiving meal and everything, and then you've got to do the dishes or you've got to clean up, and that's not hard, but I definitely know when it comes to Thanksgiving, there's a lot more like prep and work, and you're making more dishes for I think a lot more people. In my case, half the time that isn't it. It was still just me and my parents. But sometimes, my grandparents would come down. We might have like other people over if like family, if their families weren't able to have them or weather was bad, what have you, because that is something we try to do for people, and we've done that for like some of my friends and my parents' friends and everything. Like, hey, if you don't have anywhere to go, you're more than welcome to come to our house, have a meal. We always cook enough, but not only that, but at the holidays, you have, I would almost say, like parties, or people just don't have, I would say, the small families. You're having people from, you know, I don't want to say all over, but in some cases, all over, they're coming over, having a party, and they may be people you don't see a lot, they may be people you see often. And I know for myself, when it comes to our Christmas party, our family Christmas party, that's where most of our family comes in. And now that we actually live closer to our family, that has been a regular thing for uh, us to do. And yeah, I've had to make it a point where I'm like, I gotta take a break. I have to recharge. And I am very much introverted. I do have social anxiety, but I don't mind talking to people. But yeah, after a while, I'm like, okay, this is a lot for me. I need to go away. And, I let somebody know, before it was my mom. Now it's my significant other as well as my mom, because no one's really going to go up to my significant other half the time and ask him, oh, where is she? They're most likely going to ask my mom. But, I need to recharge. And I think it's taken a while even for my parents to understand that, because I'd say even in the teenage years, when we would try to come up from wherever we were, if we were somewhat nearby and we could come up for the holidays, I wouldn't say I would hide, but I needed to recharge somewhere. And yeah, they'd be like, why are you hiding? Like, there's people downstairs, your family's downstairs. And I'm like, I need a minute. Like, can you please? And it's not to be rude. I need a minute to recharge, because otherwise it's just not going to be fun for everybody. I'm drained. It's not going to be I'd say, like, good conversation. And I don't want that for anybody. I want people to feel like I'm engaged, and if I'm not engaged, then I feel like I've failed. So, I think it's really important, and not even just in that case. If you are going through something where it's like, hey, situation's making you uncomfortable, maybe you're going through, I'd say, a recovery of some kind, I think it's okay to just say, like, hey, I gotta take a minute, I gotta get out, because, you know, that's how life goes. And you aren't going to please everybody, and you have to at some point do what's best for you. Like for myself, I'm not doing it to hurt anybody. I'm doing it because I need to do this, so then it's kind of a better experience for everybody all around. Otherwise, I'm going to want to go home and like lay down, you know. But you also have the right to leave if you want to, I think. I feel like another stressor, though, when it comes to the holidays is, I would say, almost like prepping, whether it's Thanksgiving, the meal, Christmas, the meal, but also getting, I would say, like plans situated, because I know sometimes when it comes to a bigger family, you are trying to organize and have a schedule and make sure like everything's good. Um, and again, in my case, that hasn't I haven't experienced that too much, but I know from hearing other people talk about it, they're going from point A to point B to, you know, all the way across the country to point C. And it can be, I think, a lot because your mind is so occupied on everything that you have to do. And not only that, but I also think too, another stressor is being like gifts. And not just like, I don't want to say just giving gifts, but if I'll give an example. Like for myself, I I feel confident when I get a gift for somebody, but at the same time, a little bit of doubt goes in my mind where I'm like, will somebody like this? Because I've been in, and I think a lot of other people too, have been in situations where you get a gift and you are essentially told, like, hey, someone gave you a gift, essentially like it, like, pretend to like it, whatever, like we can take it back if we want to. And, you know, I would get gifts and I am thankful for the gift. That is one thing, like, I guess when it comes to me, it's really hard, I'd say, for people to get me things because I honestly don't care what you get me, because if you at least thought through the gift, that's what matters, Like, you could get me a pencil, and if it has a character I like on it, that's fine. Like, you put thought into a gift. I don't think it should have to have a monetary value on it. However, I know when I've gone out recently to buy gifts, I'm like, okay, I have to make sure that like these gifts kind of equate to all of one another, because if they don't, will somebody like be angry and like, oh, why did they get a gift that maybe costs more than I did or whatever. And I never want to, I would say, give somebody something that they don't necessarily need or want, because that I don't want to do that. And I think it's hard too, depending on where you get it. Like, I can't return this, I would have relatives who would send me stuff from wherever, and maybe it didn't fit, like they would try to give me clothing items. We couldn't return it because the stores that they bought it from, I'm like, I can't we can't return it. And we could send it back, but then we've got to go through all that. So we were like, I'll grow into it, or we'll figure it out. Like, we'll make it work somehow, but like, thank you. Like, and that's what I think makes me feel bad, and that's what constantly goes through my mind when I'm getting gifts, or potentially wanting to get somebody a gift, is all these like potential questions and factors of like price, what the gift is it good enough, and I think that can be really hard for people, especially too, depending on what you have, I would say, to offer. Because a lot of things are happening right now, and I think it's hard to, you know, do things in a sense that was normal. Like, things are priced a little bit higher, um, and everyone's going through something. And so if there is somehow, I would say, a way of like, you know, not necessarily do you need a gift, but can you almost like relate to my situation and what I give you? Not saying it's enough, but like I'm really trying to put thought into a gift, and this is kind of what I have, and this is what I can afford and do right now. I think those are just some stressors and some things that go on like during the holiday. They are nice, do not get me wrong. Like the holidays are nice, but I also think it can be really stressful for different reasons. Like I said, there's a lot of different reasons where, things just don't work out, or you want to try and do things but maybe your mind kind of talks you out of it, or you just don't know if it's good enough. And that's it can be tough and it can be tricky. um it's a great time, but it's also a time. So, that's kind of my thoughts on it. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below on what you think, and I will talk to you all later. Bye.